Happy New Year and welcome to the Tinley Chamber Spotlight Show. I'm your host, Garrett Gray. Well, it's January 2020, and if your New Year's resolution was to watch more TV, well, you came to the right place. We have three guests today who are members of the Tinley Chamber of Commerce who are here to talk about how their business and products can help benefit you. So let's get on to the guests. My first guest is a franchise owner of the School of Rock Mokena. Please welcome to the show, Mr. Mark Doyle. Mark, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Garrett. I'm very glad to be here.
We're glad to have you here, Mark. So tell us a little bit about the School of Rock Mokena.
School of Rock is it's a performance-based music school, and there's 250 franchises around the world, around the country, and around the world.
Wow.
Yes. So we're one of 250, and it's growing rapidly.
Excellent. So now, what differentiates the School of Rock Mokena to somebody just taking piano lessons at home?
Well, because we're a performance-based music program, our goal from day one is to get our students playing as a group, in bands, and playing on stage.
Wow.
So not only do we have that lessons aspect to it that any other school would have, we also have put the kids into rehearsals, and then they get ready to play a show. They spend a season, which is our seasons run 3 to 4 months. They spend a season working on a show, and then they go out and they perform it at a real venue.
Excellent. So they might even actually perform at 3, maybe 4 shows throughout a year.
Yeah, 3 shows per year.
Okay,
Yep.
Excellent. That's really good experience. What ages do you guys cater to?
So we have four core programs at the school. We have a Little Wing program for ages 4 to 5, and that's like an intro to music class. Get the kids just experimenting a little bit with instruments and what they're capable of, and it's a group class. And then we have our Rookies program, which is for 6 to 7-year-olds, which is again a group class, but is more involved with instruments and really getting them to start playing and ready to choose an instrument when they're ready.
Yeah.
And then our main program is our performance program. That's for ages 8 to 18, and that's where, like I said, we get these kids on stage and putting on three shows a year.
That's a great experience, and at a young age too. I think just even having those programs that you mentioned for younger ages prior to the 8 to 18. Just getting the exposure is excellent.
Absolutely, yeah. And we have kids that will start in those programs and just keep going, through our performance program. And then beyond the performance program, we have our adult program for ages 19 to 99, and we do the same thing with our adults. We, they're learning their instruments, and we're putting them in once a week rehearsals in addition to their lessons, and playing three times a year, just like the kids. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty good. Now, how do you guys figure out on stage who matches up, who does what song in a set?
So our bands are made up of 15 to 20 students.
Okay.
So those 15 students are all different experience levels, all different. They've been playing their instruments from a short amount of time to a long time, and if you have we have a 15-song set, and if there's a few songs that have beginners keys parts, we'll have our beginners keys players in those parts, and maybe those same songs have an advanced guitar part, so we'll cast an advanced guitar player in those songs, and that way the kids are actually playing together, and the less experienced kids are getting mentored by the older kids,
awesome.
The more experienced kids, and the more experienced kids are getting the experience of mentoring younger kids.
That's really cool. Yeah. I'm sure that works pretty well. And because every song is a little bit different. Not every song has got super advanced parts.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about the instruments you guys teach at the School of Rock Mokena.
So our main instruments are the 5 rock instruments, our vocals, piano, keyboard, guitar, bass guitar, and drums.
Wow. So, and to all those out in the audience, vocals are an instrument, your voice is an instrument, and you need a good front person for any band.
Yeah. Vocals is extremely popular at our school. We have a lot of great vocalists at our school.
Excellent. Typically, who goes out for the vocal parts?
I would say if you're going to split it by gender, we have a majority female vocals.
Wow.
But we're always loving when we get our male vocalists in there,
Oh, yeah.
because that anytime you can mix it up on stage is great.
Any success stories that you've had or with the School of Rock Mokena?
Yeah, we've had a few. We've had a couple of our female vocalists have gotten past a round or two. We have preliminary rounds of The Voice. And
Excellent. That's
that
awesome.
just gives them great experience at
Absolutely.
16 years old to be able to do something
Yeah,
like that.
and that's another thing about performance experience is auditioning. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It gives them a good rep and something where the stakes are big.
And a lot of times those auditions come where the voice or such other things are actually contacting us because we're School of Rock, and they're saying, do you have any students?
Who do you have? Yeah. Oh, that's really excellent. So how many employees work for you?
We have 15 or 16 employees, and 14 out of those are instructors.
Okay, so some of the employees, are there people who teach every instrument, or they have especially on guitar and maybe bass guitar, or a good mix?
We have several multi-instrumentalist instructors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, for sure.
That's good. That's excellent. So tell us, you mentioned some of your programs. I also heard you have camps. Can you tell the people about the camps you guys have?
Sure, yeah. And we're already planning for our summer camps in 2020. We have 6 camps lined up for 2020. Camps are a week long, and they cater for kids 7 to 18.
Excellent, excellent. And what are some of the things they will learn at those camps?
So each camp has its own theme. We have a Rock 101 camp for more beginner students that are, they learn some basic songs throughout the week and try to perform them at the end, the best they can in that week. And then we have 4 performance camps that all have different themes. We have a Best of Metal camp.
Wow.
We have a Green Day camp, Best of the 90s camp, and a classic rock camp.
Excellent, excellent.
And we have a songwriting camp as well.
That's even good too. So how are some of these kids with the songwriting? I mean, there's different processes through that, doing that.
Yeah, they spend a week and they learn how to write a song and learn how to write together.
Yeah.
And the group writes a couple songs and we record them at the end. And
you guys even record them?
Yeah, we record them.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And they play the instruments, they sing the songs, and the kids can come up with some pretty good stuff.
That's pretty cool. And you were telling me about some of these concerts you guys do put on. They're themed. So what are some of the themes you mentioned already, like Green Day and the best of the heavy metal and best of the 90s? What are some of the concerts you guys have coming up?
Well, our most recent shows, which went excellent, I can tell you what those themes were. We had a Cheap Trick and Kiss show. We had a...
Did the kids wear the makeup? That's what I want to know.
Well, they do dress up. I don't think anybody actually wore the full makeup.
Our time's fleeting here, Mark, but
okay.
if you want to tell the viewers out there a concluding message about the School of Rock Mokena, please do so at this time.
Sure. The thing that I love most about our school is that the kids not only come and have an accelerated learning path musically, but they're also growing as people, being able to play together. They're learning social skills among other skills, and they really get something out of that.
Excellent. Well, Mark, thank you for being on the show. Mark Doyle, the School of Rock Mokena. And if you want to know more about the School of Rock Mokena, please contact the Tinley Chamber at 708-532-5700 or go on the Chamber website, www.tinleychamber.org. Thanks again, Mark.
Thank you.
My next guest is the owner and vascular surgeon for Vascular Specialists, Dr. Eugene Tanquilut. Doctor, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Garrett. Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about vascular surgery. What does that entail?
Yeah, absolutely. To simplify it, there are 2 types of blood vessels, arteries and veins. Veins carry blood back to the heart, arteries away from the heart, rich with oxygen. Vascular surgery deals with the blood vessels when they get compromised, blocked, which may lead to strokes, heart attack, or even amputations.
Yikes. So what can block a vein or artery?
Yeah, so if you have a blocked artery, as I mentioned, you can actually end up with a stroke where you can be paralyzed on one side. Life is terrible. You can have a heart attack that could lead to death. You could lead to an amputation where now you can't even walk. You can't enjoy the simple things in life,
Wow.
right? Blocked veins can lead to swelling, also with vein gangrene. That can also lead to amputations.
Okay, wow. So the blocked artery is the more critical path than the blocked vein, though, it sounds
absolutely,
like. Wow.
absolutely.
So how did you get into vascular surgery? How did you get into being a vascular surgeon?
A great question. Recognizing early that the population is aging, these are elderly people or politically correct mature people, and with this aging population you get vascular disease, which becomes a major, major problem. And so with that, my goal, what motivates me is three things: independence, quality of life, and happiness.
Oh, yeah.
And so in order to do that, I've got to prevent these diseases and vascular disease.
Absolutely, and my mother is a registered nurse, and what she's noticed the trend in healthcare is that the population, the age of the geriatrics or the experienced folks is increasing. And so I see where vascular surgery and the like could help possibly extend the quality of life for our older population.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like I said, it is an aging population, and these people, with that comes blocked vessels.
Yeah.
And without vascular surgeons, your quality of life, your independence is going to be minimized.
Yeah. So, what is your typical patient that walks in to get diagnosed by you?
A lot of them, they'll be referred to me by their primary care doctor. They may have had a mini stroke. They may have simply pain with walking, and these are early signs of things that if you don't take care of it, they may have a complete stroke, or they develop gangrene and then they lose their leg.
Wow. So you're looking at somebody who's like the 60-plus range typically, right? Do you ever see anybody younger than that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So yes, the arterial, where the blood is being carried away from the heart, those are your 60-plus people.
Okay.
The vein side, could be from 20 on up. 20 because I also do the varicose veins, and varicose veins can start as early as 20.
Wow. So who are some of your oldest patients?
Some of my oldest patients are over 100, 105.
105?
105.
Wow.
So having been in this for now 15 years, I met some of these people when they're 80, 85, or 90, and they're still alive and kicking,
wow,
right, and walking. And
that's
now they're
awesome.
100, 105.
Yeah, that's excellent. So if people come in, what's involved in an initial screening to get diagnosed?
Obviously, first and foremost is just getting the history from the patient, examine, put your hand on the person, check for pulses, and if things aren't there, then you do simple tests like an ultrasound just to look to see if is there any blood flow. Simple tests.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself now, Dr. Gene. How long have you been practicing in this area?
Yeah, so actually I grew up here. I grew up in Orland Park, graduated from Sandburg High School.
Wow.
Finished medical school here in Chicago, and then ultimately did my vascular surgery at the Cleveland Clinic. I came back here. Why? Because I'm from here. My wife is from here, and I've been practicing here for about 15 years.
Excellent, excellent. And so you brought it back home, so to speak.
Yeah, a local boy who's kind of stayed at home, didn't want to move too far from the tree, right? My whole family's here. All my brothers and sister all live close by. My parents now have 14 grandkids, all within 5 minutes of my parents' house.
Yeah. Excellent. So you mentioned some of these harmful effects like gangrene, and I thought you mentioned earlier possibly amputation if something doesn't get treated. What is the time frame from diagnosis to operating table, and could you talk about that a little bit?
Sure, absolutely. There's different types of presentations. If they come in to the emergency room with what I call a cold blue leg, you have 6 hours. Otherwise, if you don't get it open in 6 hours, they're losing the leg, right? Or gangrene, there's actually two types. There's wet, which needs an operation that night, or dry. Believe it or not, a dry gangrene is like a mummy's foot. That you have a couple weeks. But wet gangrene, you have also within the next 24, 48 hours. If you don't do something, they're going to have their leg amputated.
Wow, that is completely scary. So how are you able to get these surgeries in, you mentioned within 6 hours. How are you able to get that patient to a hospital and get operated on so quickly?
Sure. A lot of times they're already in the ER when I get called for these types of patients.
Oh, wow.
And the hospital knows that in this type of patient, a cold blue leg with no blood flow or a wet gangrene, if we don't operate on these patients right away, they're going to lose their limbs. So they actually will make room for me. If I need an operating room, they open up an operating room so that I can operate immediately.
Wow, excellent. Can you share some of your success stories, whether they're dire ones from like
Sure.
that or
Sure.
or just in general?
Yeah, I think one of the best success stories I have recently is actually a not so old lady, a marathon runner who would run several marathons a year, who came to my office and said that she couldn't run a marathon anymore. She even couldn't run a half a mile anymore. From marathons to less than a half a mile. I didn't believe her because she could still, she looked fine.
Yeah.
I did some of those simple diagnostic tests
Yes.
to find out her blood vessels were completely blocked, right?
Wow.
I recanalized it. I opened it back up. She went from there and ran another half marathon to a marathon. She came back to my office and handed me her medal.
Excellent job. Wow. And I'm surprised. Usually somebody who's a runner, is this genetics or is it what would cause or contribute to, what are some of the contributing factors for blockages? Was that something genetic with her, or was it possibly, because an athlete typically they watch what they eat?
Sure. And in her case, she might have something anatomical, that might have blocked the flow.
Oh.
But most of the time, I'll tell you the biggest factors.
Yeah.
Smoking can lead to amputations, right? Blocked arteries.
Wow.
Diabetes can lead to it. And
Wow.
if you have a combination of these two, you're down that road of amputation unless you can stop doing these. Unless you can control your diabetes and you can stop smoking and get walking.
So there's preventative measures on the front end that can help minimize your risk. That's good to know. So what are some of your plans for the future with vascular specialists?
Sure. So one, we're opening up a brand new office in Tinley Park, right down the road from Gatto's on 183rd
Oh, yeah.
and 80th.
Yeah.
A new state-of-the-art facility, which will be great for the patients. In addition to that, vascular surgeons, there is a shortage, not just here locally, but nationwide.
Wow.
So I would love to expand the practice where I can cover all the way up to Oak Lawn, as far west as Morris, east all the way to Maryville, Indiana, and south to Kankakee.
Wow, that's excellent. Why is there such a shortage, Dr. Gene?
Well, primarily because the training is long. It was long. It used to be about 8 years. And they have shortened it a bit to about 5 or 6 years to increase the number of people going into vascular surgery. So primarily is the length and duration of that training isn't really so well, embraced.
It's pretty rigorous. It sounds very rigorous, but it sounds like it has to be to do such critical work.
It is. There is no 40-hour work week. There is no 80-hour work week. It's like you're 115, 120 hours a week of training.
Oh, wow. Well, obviously you care about your patients, so that's good. So, Dr. Gene, we have just a few moments here. Can you address the audience on with a concluding message?
Absolutely. I want the viewers to know that my mission, my purpose of here, my why is to really restore or keep their quality of life, to keep their independence, and by doing that, we can achieve happiness in this aging population.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Dr. Gene. And if you want to know more about the vascular specialist and Dr. Gene Tanquilut, please contact the Chamber at 708-532-5700 or go on the Tinley Chamber website, tinleychamber.org. Thanks again, Doctor.
Thank you.
My last guest is an author, a coach, a trainer, and a speaker for Faith, Hope, and Spirit, LLC. Please help me welcome to the show Mrs. Haseena Shaheed-Jackson. Welcome to the show, Haseena.
Thank you, and I'm excited to have this opportunity to be here today.
I'm excited to have you. You're such an inspirational person, so I'm glad to have this opportunity. So please tell the people what your organization, Faith, Hope, and Spirit, LLC, is about, and what's your motivation for getting in this field?
Well, I got into this field because I believe you need to look at the person in the mirror and believe in that person. Because we all have seeds of greatness within us, and all we have to do is just grow them and cultivate them, and we could become all that we seek to become. When you can raise the lid on your capacity, you're not limited, you limit yourself. My brother did not believe in himself, and he had a knack for information technology. He built this computer from scratch. He had this blue lava liquid going through it. I was like, what is that? And it was like funny. I was like, that's like some mad scientist thing. But he didn't believe in himself, and I lost my brother at the age of 43, and that really hurt me because he did not see who he was and that greatness that was within him.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. But it planted the seed for you to go out and help motivate others to fulfill their maximum potential.
From my pain came my purpose. And my purpose is that what lies behind you, what lies before you is nothing compared to what lies within you. And that came from Ralph Waldo Emerson. We all have to believe just in ourselves, and we can. And don't listen to the negative voices and your inner voices in the environment. Listen to what you can do and do it.
Wow, that's awesome. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. I know you're an author, you're a coach, a speaker. Seems like you can do everything. So tell us a little bit more.
Well, I grew up in the city of Chicago, and my family wasn't rich by any means. We went shopping 3 times a year, spring, summer, fall, and that was a treat. We didn't go out of town,
Wow.
but I looked around in my environment and I said, I can do more. And I had people who were behind me. I mean, I remember my gym teacher in high school. She saw me going home from school each day, and I have an 8.5 by 11. She folded up in half, and she said to me, and she was no taller than 4'9". And one day she said, "Shaheed, come here." And I was like, oh my God, I'm in trouble. I don't want to go over there. She's going to get me. So I went walking over there, and she said, "I see you every day, and all you have is a little piece of paper in your hand." And I said, "Yeah." She said, "Well, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm going home to look at TV." And she said, "Well, what about your homework?" I said, "I do it in class." And she said, "Well, what about you don't have anything else to do?" I said, "No." She said, "Well, you see me tomorrow in the principal's office." And I was like, oh my God, I'm in really big trouble now. So the next day I was enrolled in honor classes. So because of her, I am where I am today.
Wow, yeah. I mean, that's awesome. Most kids don't want more work, but she realized that you could do more.
She saw that potential in
Wow.
me.
And now you're doing that for others. That's awesome.
Yes.
So tell us some about some of your success stories, some of the clients that you had that you pushed to maximize some of their potential.
Well, I've been in leadership for 20 years now, so I've helped groom and train some of my team members. I have a team member that's been with me 18 years. She started out entry level, and now she's like second in command underneath me. So she is a powerful inspiration to me as well. And when I leave, I wish that she takes over the reins because she is an awesome young woman. I have people that through my books, because I write books, daily inspirational books. I have and daily messages I put on the internet and websites. And through that, I have friends who said, well, because of you, one girlfriend, she's going into social work.
Oh, wow.
And then I have another one that I've mentored, and she's going into social work because of her father. So a lot of times we need to take our pain, and it tells us what our purpose is.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are the titles of some of these books, and how did these come about?
Well, one was Reflections Within, because I reflected so much. I would read and meditate, and it came to me, a message would just come to mind, and I would start writing. And so I would send them out, and one girlfriend said to me one day, well, who writes those things? And I said, I do. And then my husband, he was behind me in the back saying, well, you should publish those. And I said, what? He said, yes. And I said, oh my goodness, my husband thinks I write that well. I'm just must be wonderful, and thank him so much. He is my backbone. He's my inspiration.
Excellent.
And David Jackson is his name, which is why my name is H.S. Jackson.
Oh, excellent. So that's your writer's name.
Yes.
Like J.K. Rowling.
Right.
You
So
got H.S.
So one is,
Jackson.
and the other one is Messages from the Spirit, and this one because the Spirit spoke through me to write these messages, and I just felt I needed to share it with others.
Excellent. Awesome. So who are some of your ideal clients and customers that you serve?
My ideal customer is someone who feels like they're stuck because they're not stuck. They just need to stretch themselves, and they can aspire to become more. The person that's a high performer who's seeking to go to new levels, new plateaus.
Kick it up a notch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the teams who are already high performers or achieving, but take it to even soaring heights and creating more efficiencies and effectiveness in their corporations.
Okay.
And businesses.
Excellent. And teamwork's a huge thing because no matter what you do in life, you typically have to. You're not doing it solo. You have to work with others to get the job done.
No, there's no I. It's we.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. So, what do you see as opportunities in your line of work?
I see that, one, people need to recognize that leaders must have trust, because people are consenting to follow you.
Absolutely.
2, you must have influence. You don't want to be a leader that's taking a walk and no one's following them. You want people
That's
to
true.
buy into you.
Yeah, buy-in.
Yes.
Important.
And 3, you must be a servant. Like I am a servant. I write because I wish to serve and add value to others. So if you help others get what they want, they'll help you get what you want. And 3, communication. You must seek to first be understood, to understand before you can be understood.
Yeah,
So you need to know
absolutely.
ask what's in the heart, what's your hurt, how can I help you, and what can I do for you? Because it's not about me, it's about you. And at the end of the day, I'm trying to add value to you, to serve you.
Absolutely, and it's January 2020. It's the new year. People look at it being the new you. So, do you have any programs coming up in January here? You want to talk
Yes,
about?
I have a Commit to You in 2020, which I'm going to do a mastermind group study on the 15 Laws of Growth by John Maxwell, because that's who I'm certified and
Wow,
trained under.
excellent.
He is a guru that's been around for years. And so we will cover those 15 laws of growth, the law of intentionality, the law of pain, there's so many of them. I mean, I couldn't go through them all here, but there's 15 laws that if you apply those to your life, you can reach new plateaus. And so it will be in the group setting, and because you're with like-minded people who are seeking to travel to new levels and reach new heights. So we will be there collaborating and learning together.
Excellent. Is there a promotion for that
Yes.
event?
So the promotion is it's regular price is $200. However, if you sign up by January 5th, it's $175. And I know this is going to air after that time. However, if you mention that you saw me on the cable show, I will still honor the $175.
There you go.
So please
Excellent.
sign up. It's going to be a fabulous session, and we're going to blow the roof off of our lid. We're not going to sit here and think that we're average, because we're exceptional, and we need to believe in ourselves.
She's got me pumped up already here. Excellent, Haseena. And so we only have a few fleeting moments right now, but is there a concluding message you would like to share with the viewers out there today?
Yes. Within each of us, we have a song. It's our potential and our greatness that we must release. Don't leave this life and not released your song. Let me help you and partner with you to release your song so that you can sing and soar and travel to new heights.
Wow. Excellent. Well, Haseena, thank you for being on the show. We appreciate it. We appreciate your time. Continued success with Faith, Hope, and Spirit LLC. And with that, if you want to find out anything more about any of our guests today on the Tinley Chamber Spotlight Show, contact the Tinley Chamber of Commerce at 708-532-5700 or go online to www.tinleychamber.org. Well, thanks to all our guests on our show today, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next month.